Seth, don't go. Let's sit and watch the show, I said and took my friend's hand. Sorry, but I've already agreed to go on a date with Sarah, he replied, kissed me on the cheek, and left. As soon as the door closed behind him, I sat down on the floor and burst into tears from the pain that squeezed my heart like a vice. I threw my phone against the wall. It had all the messages I'd ever sent to Seth and Sarah, my best friends. I wanted desperately to erase them from my life. The phone, of course, broke and didn't turn on anymore. I don't know why, but I tried to put it back together, realizing how stupid it was that I just did that. But in the end, it didn't do any good. I just threw it out. No worries. I had an extra. Then I took out a book and started reading it, but I couldn't concentrate. I slammed it shut, lay down on my bed, and stared aimlessly at the ceiling. There were many different thoughts in my head. Here I am, going out with Seth, and here he is, going out with Sarah. Because of this, I burst into tears again. No, I'm not crazy or hysterical. My name is Andrea, and I'm an ordinary girl who fell in love with her best guy friend. But there's one but. He's in love with my best girlfriend, Sarah. And it just tears me apart inside. More recently, we all went bowling together, as usual, and competed against each other. I hit strike after strike and was happy I was beating my friends. But then I noticed how strangely they were acting around each other, and it made me worried. I've been friends with Sarah and Seth since the age of 5, and they didn't always get along. These two constantly fought, pranked each other, took embarrassing pictures of each other, and sent them to everyone. It was unbearable because I couldn't talk to them at the same time. I had to hang out with my friends separately, and it was annoying. I treasured my friendship with both of them and tried to get them to get along one more time. And I did it when we went bowling. The rivalry and excitement of the game helped them become friends. But I had no idea where it would lead. At some point, Seth and Sarah stopped calling me to hang out. Instead, the two of them went to the movies and bowling. I looked at the photos on Instagram, got angry and offended, not understanding why they were ignoring me. Did I offend them? But everything turned out to be much worse. They started dating and told me about it while we were on a Ferris wheel. After that, my friends kissed, and I wanted to cry and get off the ride as soon as possible. And all because I have been secretly in love with Seth since I was 13. I somehow managed to suppress my emotions. But at home, I sat and burned our shared photos, threw away all the memorabilia presented by them with a sigh, and decided I would no longer talk to them. But after a couple of hours, I already regretted it because it was so stupid. 2 of my close friends were happy. And instead of being happy for them, I acted like a hysterical idiot. Then I decided to buy a cake and congratulate them. Seth and Sarah were happy, but in my heart, I wanted to throw the cake in Sarah's face. And my life after that changed for the worse. My best friends were passionate about each other, and they completely forgot about me. Next to them, I always felt like a third wheel. One day, I got so angry with them that I blocked both of them. Once they invited me to hang out, but didn't pay any attention to me. They constantly kissed, cooed at each other, and left me behind. They didn't even notice that I turned around on purpose and went home. I was so upset that I didn't speak to them for several days. Finally, Seth came up to me and asked what had happened. I snapped, yelled at him, called him an idiot, and pushed him away. Seth tried to catch up with me and find out everything, but instead of actually talking it out, I told him not to talk to me anymore and go hang out with his beloved Sarah. Neither of them understood what was going on, and I stayed shut up in my room for a whole week, remembering the times when Seth and I were close. For example, when I accidentally broke my leg, he came to me every day and brought me candy. We also had a tradition of going out of town every Friday, having an evening picnic and watching the sunset. Then we would stargaze while listening to our favorite songs. But since he started dating Sarah, I've lost everything. My friends, and my hope for love. What if not all was lost? After all, I could try to get Seth to fall in love with me, and then everything would be back to normal. He would be mine and spend all his time with me. But then I thought about Sarah, who is one of my best friends. I couldn't do that to her. But after one incident, I changed my mind abruptly. After I cooled down, I decided to hang out with Seth and have a good chat with him. But every now and then he would message Sarah, filmed a video for her, and then he called her and talked for an hour. As a result, Seth said that Sarah had prepared some kind of surprise for him and left me right there in the middle of the street, running over to her. Also, as luck would have it, it started raining. And in that instant, I realized that I needed to act as quickly as possible. Since Sarah didn't know him well, she asked me what I could give him for his birthday. I stated that Seth loves Game of Thrones and would love some kind of merch. Of course, I was lying, knowing how much he hated the show. Because of this, his birthday was ruined. He had a big fight with Sarah because she gave him a Daenerys t-shirt. Sarah said that he didn't appreciate her, and Seth shouted that she didn't know him at all. And I ate birthday cake on the sidelines and watched their fight with pleasure. As a result, Sarah left, and Seth was unbelievably angry. But he immediately calmed down when he got a gift from me. I knew how long he had wanted the entire series of books about The Witcher, so I gave him the collector's edition. My friend was so happy that he kissed me on the cheek, and I almost melted. Only now, Sarah was a little upset with me. I pretended to be an idiot and said that I accidentally mixed up the shows. My friend believed me and asked me how to apologize to him. I offered to buy 2 tickets to the aquarium, and Sarah believed me again. Their date turned into a real nightmare. Seth believed that animals should be in their natural habitat, and Sarah believed that they were given excellent care in the aquarium. They argued even more and broke up for the first time. Oh, I was so happy. Naturally, I spent more time with Seth and consoled him. "She doesn't suit you. You're completely different," I repeated. And he seemed to agree with me. I hugged him and constantly said how cool he was and that he was worthy of a person who would always understand him. And then something happened that I didn't expect. Seth suddenly kissed me, and I almost fainted from an overabundance of emotions. But he apparently was frightened by what he did and ran away, and I was in such a shock that I couldn't move. My lips burned from the kiss. But before I even had time to rejoice normally, Seth sent me a flood of messages full of remorse. "We're friends, and I did a stupid thing," he wrote. And I almost smashed my phone on the floor. I still needed to put pressure on him to get him to start dating me. However, after a couple of days, he and Sarah made up and again went to school holding hands and hugging. Seth tried not to look at me, and Sarah constantly said that she was happy with him no matter what. Then I decided to act through Sarah. I said I saw Seth kissing another girl. Since Sarah and I had a good relationship, she believed me. At first, she cried on my shoulder for a long time. Then together, we wrote angry messages to him on her behalf. And then I convinced her that he was a moron. They broke up again. But this time, Seth didn't come to me. He got angry because I told Sarah everything. "I have no secrets from her, and you're the one to blame," I wrote. And he immediately fell silent. He was silent for several days, and I kept waiting and expecting at least some action from him. But I never thought that they would get back together again. How can they even date after something like that? I got so angry that I lashed out at Sarah. My friend was choosing an outfit for their date, and I said that she shouldn't be with Seth anymore. And then I told her what I hadn't told anyone about my love for him from the age of 13. Sarah was shocked as she listened to me. "But why didn't you tell me? I wouldn't have started dating him." And to completely get her to pity me, I burst into tears and showed her my personal diary with all the entries dedicated to Seth. Sarah hugged me and said that her friendship with me was more precious, so she would break up with him. I was happy, even though my friends became unhappy. No problem, they would survive. They didn't work together anyway. I began to strive for Seth with all my might, but he treated me only as a friend. I saw that he couldn't move away from his past relationship. Then I told Seth that he needed to switch to another girl to quickly forget about Sarah. He listened to me, and I offered to date him. Oh, how glad I was when he agreed. But my joy didn't last long. We went on dates, but Seth didn't seem to be present with me. He suffered, and I suffered because of him. He didn't really want to kiss me or spend time together. We even stopped watching TV shows because he simply didn't come to visit me. Sarah also suffered terribly. I realized this when she once again dyed her hair and started on a strict diet. And then she wanted to transfer to another school because she couldn't handle seeing us together. Now, this was too much. I felt bad because my friends were suffering. My relationship with Seth didn't develop because he didn't love me, but saw me as a close friend. Then I decided to let him go, so he would smile more and be happy, even if it wasn't with me. I decided to talk to them and explain myself. I talked about my experiences, that I felt abandoned and unnecessary. I apologized to Sarah for setting her up several times, and to Seth for causing him so much pain. My friends were very upset with me and didn't talk to me for several weeks. At school, I saw them spend time together, and I wanted to approach them so badly, but I couldn't. However, they approached me and said that they had forgiven me. Since then, everything has worked out for us. My friends didn't let me down, and we tried to hang out together a lot. I resigned myself to the fact that they love each other and let go of my feelings for Seth, even though it was really hard. Would you steal your best friend's boyfriend? Write your answers in the comments and like and share the video with your friends.